Hi, this is Stuart Talley here to do another update on the ongoing Pinnacle metal on metal hip trial that's occurring right now in Dallas, Texas. Wanted to provide some commentary on some testimony we heard from a Dr. Thomas Schmalzried. Dr. Schmalzried was one of the design surgeons who helped design the Pinnacle hips. He initially started the project back in the 90s and was paid for his services in connection with helping design the Pinnacle, and then eventually he received a royalty agreement with DePuy where he would receive a percentage of all the sales of the Pinnacles that occurred anywhere in the world. And the testimony from Dr. Schmalz Read was unusual and unique in the sense that Dr. Schmalz Read was not actually present in the courtroom. In a case where the judge adopted a procedure that I have not seen before in any trial, the judge allowed the testimony of Dr. Schmalz Read to be taken by satellite transmission, almost like a Skype type of process, where there was a camera and a television camera, or a camera and a television screen in Los Angeles, which is where Dr. Schmalz Read is from, and his testimony was broadcast to the courtroom in Dallas, Texas, where he was questioned by lawyers that were actually in the courtroom. This is a very unusual procedure. Under the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure, normally you cannot require a witness to travel more than 100 miles from where they live. So most of the time in cases like this, you have to take a deposition and videotape it, which is a process where the lawyers ask questions outside of the courtroom, and you videotape that, and then you show the videotape to the jury. It's not a very effective way of presenting testimony. A much better way is to actually have people live in the courtroom. So what the court did this time, which was unique, was he required Dr. Schmalz Read to travel to a conference room that was less than 100 miles from where he lived, and then his testimony was broadcast into the courtroom. This is rarely done, but it's being done with a lot of witnesses in this case. And actually, this is so unusual that the defendants at one point filed a writ with the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals seeking to have this process declared impermissible, and the appellate court refused to take action on the appeal. So the testimony is going forward. Now, Dr. Schmalz Read is interesting in the sense that in the course of developing the Pinnacle and some other hips for DePuy, he has made more than $30 million from DePuy. Under the agreement that he has with DePuy, any type of liability associated with hips that he's helped develop is on DePuy. He's been named as a defendant in a lot of cases, but if he loses or there's a judgment against him, DePuy has agreed to pay that judgment. DePuy also agreed to pay for any attorneys that he has or needs. And so at this testimony, where he was in a conference room in Los Angeles, he actually had 2 attorneys there present with him in the conference room. Now, much of the testimony of Dr. Schmalz Read centered around whether he was truly a design surgeon or whether he was actually somebody who was paid by DePuy to help sell this product. Dr. Schmalz Read is a very well-respected surgeon who's well-known. He lectures all over the place, and he was brought in to help with this product. After he received the royalty agreement, which is after the Pinnacle was actually put on the market, he engaged in conduct that arguably can be considered sales conduct. Dr. Schmalz Read didn't want to admit that he had anything to do with sales, but the plaintiffs pushed pretty hard on trying to get him to admit that he was really a salesman more than he was a design surgeon. There were lots of documents that were presented during the trial that were actually Dr. Schmalz Read documents where he's making presentations, PowerPoints that he put together that were presented to salesmen at national meetings, where he was telling the salesmen how to sell the Pinnacle hip and what they should be doing to try and increase their sales. That was a big part of his testimony today. And the idea that I think the plaintiffs are trying to get across is that this is somebody who was out there really pushing this product more as a salesman than as an actual surgeon pushing it to his colleagues, so to speak. And so that's where we were today with the testimony. There'll be more of Dr. Schmalz Read in the future. If you have any questions about the trial or how it's going, feel free to give us a call. You can reach us at the phone number on the screen, or you can fill out one of our online forms on our website, and a lawyer will get right back to you.